Welcome to My Dream Academy. So in the last class we discussed about irrigation engineering and we also completed transportation engineering. So now we are going to discuss about transportation engineering most expected questions for ECET2021. So let us start with first question. So in Central Road Fund, how much amount of extra tax is collected? So Central Road Fund, actually Central Road Fund was started in 1929 March 1st. Central Road Fund was started in 1929 March 1st. Here after Jayakar committee, so Jayakar has decided to collect extra tax of petrol, but how much he didn't decided. He decided in Central Road Fund and he named it as Central Road Fund. So we have four options here. So 2.64 paisa per liter, 2.74 paisa per liter, 3.74 paisa per liter, 4.74 paisa per liter. So 2.64 paisa per liter is the correct option. You have to choose from this. So Central Road Fund, how much amount of extra tax is collected? 2.64 paisa per liter extra tax is collected from Central Road Fund. So next, coming to second question, which of the following committee will act as a platform? Which of the following committee will act as a platform? So given options are Central Road Research Institute. Central Road Research Institute means in the name itself it is saying it is related to how much extent of research is required for highways. CRF, Central Road Fund, already here we discussed a Central Road Fund. So what is Central Road Fund? For 2.64 paisa per liter we are collecting Central Road Fund and we are distributing 100% cess into 57.5% for national highways, 30% for state highways, remaining 12.5% for road repair works. That is CRF. Next, coming to HRB, Highway Research Board. This Highway Research Board collects various informations from various organizations as well as India and foreign countries, and it will compare all the plans and it will prepare, that is nothing but it will prefer one design related to road. So that is so our answer is IRC. So Indian Road Congress 1934 will act as a platform. Why we made it as a platform means first Jayakar committee, they decided to develop the roads. Next, in Central Road Fund, they raised the funds. So funds is there, responsibility, funds is there, development is, plans are there, but who will take the responsibility means IRC. So IRC, they made IRC as a platform. Next, what is the full form of NAI and MORTH? So what is the full form of NAI and MORTH? What is NAI? National Highway Authority of India 1995. What is NAI? According to NAI, so if the population of village is greater than 1000, those villages are connected to major district roads. If the population of village is greater than 1500, those villages are connected to state highways. So next, coming to MORTH. MORTH means Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. So for minister will be there for road transport and highways. So he will look after the maintenance, construction, everything related to road construction, highways, everything he will look after. MORTH, Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. So next, coming to formation width. What is formation width? As we all know, formation width is carriageway plus width of shoulders on either side. And another options may be carriageway plus width of shoulders on curbs, carriageway plus width of shoulders on one side, carriageway plus width of curb on two sides. So like that, so many options will be given. So first of all, what is carriageway and maximum width of carriageway? So maximum width of carriageway according to IRC is 2.44 meters. What is shoulder? Shoulder is provided on either side of road for overtaking. Shoulder is provided for overtaking, for resting, and shoulder is also provided for footpath. Shoulder is provided as footpath for movement of human beings. Okay, so what is carriageway? Carriageway is nothing but where the movement, the way on which movement of vehicles takes place. Carriageway or width of pavement. Carriageway or width of pavement. So formation width is nothing but carriageway plus width of shoulders on either side. Next, according to IRC, the recommended value of camber in less rainfall areas in thin bituminous roads. So 1 in 60 in less rainfall areas. So we discussed a table. According to IRC, different camber values in different regions. So I said for thick bituminous roads we have less rainfall areas, heavy rainfall areas. So 1 in 50, 1 in 60. Thin bituminous roads we have 1 in 40, 1 in thin bituminous roads 1 in 50, 1 in 60. Less rainfall areas, heavy rainfall areas. Okay. Next thick bituminous roads 1 in 50, 1 in 40, 1 in 50. Next WBM roads 1 in 33, 1 in 40. Next earthen roads 1 in 25, 1 in 33. So for different camber values we discussed. So among that here we got one question. According to IRC, the recommended value of camber in less rainfall areas in thin bituminous roads is 1 in 60. Why 1 in 60 slope is more in less rainfall areas means, so in less rainfall areas discharge will be less. So that's why if we provide more slope, steeper slope, then what happens? Discharge will be increased. Nothing but velocity. If velocity increases, automatically discharge will be increased. Next, match the following. Match the following. So here I given national highways. So NH1, NH3, NH44, NH47A. So NH1, everyone knows that NH1 is connecting Delhi, Chandigarh, Amritsar. NH1 is connecting Delhi, Chandigarh, Amritsar. NH3 is connecting Bombay, Agra road. NH3 is connecting Bombay, Agra road. So NH44 is the longest national highway. NH44 is the longest national highway. Already we discussed NH44 is the longest national highway at a distance of 3700 kilometers, connecting from Srinagar to Kanyakumari. So NH44 connecting from Srinagar to Kanyakumari is the longest national highway, and NH47A is the shortest national highway, connecting from Ernakulam to Cochin. Connecting from Ernakulam to Cochin at a distance of 4 kilometers. At a distance of 4 kilometers. Next. So if the length of highway is less than 1 lakh, it is known as. When we are discussing classification of roads according to IRC, national highways, state highways, major district road, other district road, village roads, we discussed. So at that time I said, so if the length of national highway is less than 1 lakh, that is known as national highway. Why? Because total length of national highways is 70,548 kilometers. Total length of state highways is 1,37,500 kilometers. Total length of major district road and other district roads, village roads, total equal to 4,60,000 kilometers. So depending upon that, I already said, so if the length of highway is less than 1 lakh, it is known as national highway. It is known as national highway. So welcome to the next video of most expected questions, transportation engineering for ECET 2021. So in the last video we discussed about 7 questions. So the relation between ruling gradient, limiting gradient, exceptional gradient is. So what is ruling gradient? Ruling gradient is also known as design gradient. Limiting gradient is provided in case of hilly areas. Exceptional gradient is provided in case of exceptional cases where the stretch of curve should not be greater than 100 meters. Where the stretch of curve should not be greater than 100 meters, there we will provide exceptional gradient. But here they are asking relationship between ruling gradient, limiting gradient and exceptional gradient. So ruling gradient, limiting gradient, exceptional gradient. Exceptional gradient is very steeper than ruling gradient. Ruling gradient is steeper than, limiting gradient is steeper than ruling gradient. Okay. So now what is the relation? So we can write ruling gradient less than limiting gradient less than exceptional gradient. Or another option we can write. So in another way we can define this relationship. So exceptional gradient greater than limiting gradient greater than ruling gradient. So this is the relationship between ruling gradient, limiting gradient, exceptional gradient. If both options are appeared in the options, then you have to choose both A and B, and another option will be none of the above. Okay, another option also will be there, none of the above. Some students will confuse here. So where two relations only we have one relation, no, so answer will be none. So like that they will think. So the relation between ruling gradient, limiting gradient, exceptional gradient is ruling gradient less than limiting gradient less than exceptional gradient greater than limiting gradient greater than ruling gradient. Next, coming according to IRC, recommended values of ruling gradient, limiting gradient, exceptional gradient in plane and rolling terrain. So plane and rolling terrain 3.3%, 5% and 6.7%. So already we discussed a tabular form according to IRC, recommended values of ruling gradient, limiting gradient, exceptional gradient in plane and rolling terrain, mountainous terrain up to 3000 meter, steep terrain greater than 3000 meter. So now here we require plane and rolling terrain. So ruling gradient is 3.3%, limiting gradient is 5%, exceptional gradient is 6.7%. Next, so what is the formula used to calculate super elevation and why it is provided? What is the formula used to calculate super elevation and why it is provided? So what is the formula we discussed? E plus F is equal to V square by 127R, where V is equal to V is in kilometer per hour. So what is E? E is nothing but super elevation. F is coefficient of friction, speed of a vehicle, radius of curve. So super elevation is provided at curves. So first of all, what is super elevation? Super elevation is nothing but the rise of inner edge, the rise of outer edge with respect to inner edge. Okay, the rise of outer edge with respect to inner edge is known as super elevation. Okay, so formula to calculate super elevation, E plus F is equal to V square by 127R, where V is equal to kilometer per hour. Next, so why it is provided? Why we are providing the super elevation? To counteract centrifugal force. We are providing super elevation at curves. So here what happens means, whenever the vehicle is moving at the curve, what happens means, so this vehicle tends to slip this sides. Why? Centrifugal force of vehicle is more than centrifugal force of road. So what happens? This vehicle tends to slip. And one more reason is, rear wheel does not follow the front wheel at the turning points. Means whenever the car takes a turns, rear wheel does not follow the front wheel. Okay. So next, so what is the relation between gradient and camber? So as we discussed, what is gradient? Gradient is nothing but a slope, rise or fall of a road surface. Gradient is nothing but a slope. Camber are cross slope. What is camber or cross slope? Convexity provided to a straight path of road. Convexity provided to straight path of road. Convexity provided to straight path of road is known as camber. Camber is expressed in 1 in n. What is the relation between gradient and camber? First of all, we are discussing what is camber. Camber is nothing but a convexity provided to a straight path of road. Next, what is gradient? Gradient is nothing but rise or fall of a road surface. Rise or fall of a road surface. Rise or fall of a road surface. This is gradient. Rise or fall of a road surface. So, what is the relationship between gradient and camber? Means, so gradient is equal to 2 times of camber. Gradient is equal to 2 times of camber. Options may be gradient is equal to 3 times of camber, gradient is equal to 4 times of camber, gradient is equal to 5 times of camber. So, in another way, one more option will be there. So, G by 2 is equal to C. Half of gradient is equal to camber. Half of gradient is equal to camber. So many ways are there. So, options will be given in any way. Options will be given in any way. But you have to choose the correct relation. Means, first of all, we have to understand the correct relation. Gradient is equal to 2 times of camber we know, means if they given in terms of words they will give. In terms of words they will give. In terms of, here in terms of relation I written, but in terms of words they will give. How they, in terms of words means you will confuse again. In terms of words they will give means you know the relation only. But when we are studying, they will give half of gradient is equal to camber. Choose the correct one from following. Half of gradient is equal to camber, or gradient is equal to 2 times of camber, gradient is equal to 3 times of camber. Both the options are correct. So like that they will give. So depending upon the options we have to choose. So these are the questions.